discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the sports and nutrition store.
Yes, for only $23.90. Karibuni sana, hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon on your end, 17 minutes past 8 p.m. on my end. A beautiful day it has been. I hope you are enjoying yours on your end. But karibuni sana to the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. This is the media of the 21st century. My name is Jobit, the first time listeners and returning subscribers and listeners as well on Rumble Beach YouTube, on our radio station, Spreaker, on Spotify, and of course on whichever stream you're also catching me live from. But karibuni sana, where we shall be talking about what has been happening during the weekend. Yes, we got Mr. Black Hot Fire in the building as well. And we shall be talking, of course, about what has been happening during the weekend. America finally, talking about how in this war, which we've been talking about Iran, Israel war, Israel talking about how they're so excited about America responding towards this. I have a couple of videos which I shall be sharing as you see different events response since the beginning of this particular war. Shout out to Iran, which still stands on its ground and saying what they said. They already warned if anything, if US did attempt to attack them or to get involved in this war, it would unleash attacks inside the country or in their military bases, which of course also has been observed.
Yeah, well, America was already involved in it because we were like Dr. Gibbon and saying we were already refueling. We were always using the bases in what they call the Middle East, which is really Northeast Africa. No such place is no Middle East. That's Northeast Africa. So they were using the bases of Northeast Africa, like countries like Qatar and other Arab nations, to raise these attacks against Iran. Trump comes out looking like a moron, the moron that he is, because what he did was illegal. To let you know, guys, we don't live in a democracy or a republic. What he did is illegal. We have a foreign power most of the world. So he was told to do this. It's illegal. If we had a real country, what he do? Trump right now would be impeached and going to jail, facing imprisonment, because he doesn't have the authority to direct the military without the approval of Congress to bomb anybody at any time. But we know, like we said, we know that that we live in also a banana republic like the rest of the world. Like everybody's now eyes are opening. Well, you got everybody in the streets saying we're not going to fight or die for Israel. Exactly. They started this war. So understand what this war was about. You have a group of people that run these banks. They go into people's countries because they want all the resources to keep them rich, and while everybody's people be poor, starving, all messed up. So it was finally Iran's time to give up their resources. But Iran knew they was coming. Shout out to Iran, they're not going to be stupid. If you know the world, you should know you know. Iran knew they were eventually going to come for them. It's only a matter of time. And like Joe showed you this morning, they found a new rare earth mineral as well. So that's what they knew they were coming now. Iran didn't have no nuclear bomb, and everybody knew it. So all the news has been lies, all fake. Iran didn't have any nuclear weapons. So why are they doing this? Because they want to overthrow the government, steal these resources, and put their fake central bank in there. Remember, who owns the central banks? Oh, there's one group of people on all the central banks on the planet. That gives them power because they get to create wealth from nothing. And they get control of and they get to buy your resources with their fake paper. Once they get in your country, they blow up, and they just put a puppet in. Puppet signs all these fake deals, giving your resources to them, and privatizing all of your businesses for them. So now private and then they make all these fake propaganda claims. Privatization is good. It's better to be everything private. But no one in your country owns none of your minerals and none of your resources no more. Foreign people own all your whole country. And so your country stays impoverished. So that's what this is about. That's why he said to have Trump's crowd is backing, is fractioning now, called him a phony because he told you, I'm going to keep you out of wars. I'm going to not bring any wars. And like I told you, it didn't matter whether you had the other moron in there, Harris, is going to be the same script. Remember, they're just puppets. Trump is a puppet. Harris would have been a puppet controlled by the same puppet masters. So a lot of you moronic Democrats believe in that. Oh, you shouldn't have voted for Trump. Harris would have going to do the same thing, idiots. They're backed by the same money. The idea that you have a two-party system around the world, that is an illusion. There's no Democrat or Republican Party. That's to keep you divided and conquering you're weak-minded if you believe the Democrat and Republican when they're both controlled and bought by the same people. Understand that? That's why Trump looks like an idiot now because he can no longer be trusted. Come on, oh, we're going to make peace with Iran now. Can we have peace? And you bomb somebody about peace. No, we can't have no peace. And so now they found out that they cannot defend Israel. Is not real with all this overexpensive equipment. See, understand every empire, guys. Every empire, like America, becomes corrupt. And so their military systems are all based on corruption. They're not based on who makes the best weapons. They're all now based on graft and corruption because all the Congress is bought out. So you get all these deals within the Pentagon, people making weapons that are not even that good, making billions of dollars because now it's all taken over. So American weapons suck. And this is what it shows. That all these expensive, overexpensive weapons don't even work. Don't work. Israel weapons, Iranian weapons are cheap. And they're destroying Israel. Because their whole system is not corrupt like America's system is. So that's what we're dealing with. Go ahead, Joe.
So on the screen, as we catch up, of course, with what you're explaining as we go all the way down, we have talking about the Republicans and the Democrats, where we had Trump, a clip of Trump and Kamala actually surfacing when they were both during the presidential when
they both can't run the candidates, the presidential election when they both were candidates.
Exactly. When they were both being questioned about what is their take about Iran, about the World War III.
Now, this bravado about, lock and loaded. What does that mean? Okay. And also,
well, it's an implicit military threat. That
yes,
the US
it is. Yes, it is.
We're going to use US force.
Yes, it is. And again,
I want you to pause it. I want you to listen to this, moron, because they're both puppets. This is all fake. She's saying Iran is an intense threat. All you fake moronic Democrats, she's telling it's a threat. It's a threat. Iran has been a threat to no one, has invaded no one, has killed no one. So how is it a threat? Because her Israeli-backed handlers told both of them they're threats. because they want to get their bank in there. They want those minerals, and they want that oil, and they want that gas. So they're going to do what they're told. These are puppets. Go ahead, Joby.
As I'm concerned, this president is motivated by his personal insecurities more than
mind you, he's talking about Trump, and then of
Yes,
course,
Trump.
they're both controlled. Either she was to win, whether Trump was to win, the same would have still.
Same thing was going to happen. Exactly right, Joby. That's the scam. So I find a lot of people waking it up. You finally understanding. You know, you have these fake elections. That's to make you feel good. But nothing ever changes. Ain't it funny? The policy, no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, the policies never change because they're not supposed to. You're the fool. You're the dupe. Go ahead, Joby.
Is our national security. If this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers who would be sent and deployed into something that was completely avoidable.
Remember, she's handkerchief head Boulay. Now, Joby looked up who she represents, who she's supposed to protect. Her being a handkerchief head Boulay, she's supposed to protect the Rothschild family. We looked up her Boulay handling from her sorority, and so she's Boulay. So we know she's supposed to protect the Rothschild.
Yep.
Good reason, based on everything we know publicly, to suspect and to be concerned that his motivation is more out of self-interest than it is the interest of the American people. You know, I'm traveling our country and meeting with the families who are sending their sons and daughters to these endless wars. And this president better take very seriously any threat that he makes to enter us into another war and send our young men and women into battle.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
What's the message to Iran?
See, why are they focusing all on Iran over Iran? Why? Because they want Iran's wealth. Why did Iran? What about Iran? What about Iran? Who gave you the right to tell a sovereign nation what they can and can't do? How can I tell Joby what not to do, what to do and not to do? She's a grown-ass woman. Who gave you the right to tell Iran what they can and cannot do? That's the fake pretense they give before they try to invade it. But the joke's on you, Rothschilds and cats. Iran is ready for that ass. See, they're not an African country sit back and do prayers and, they got all that goopy Allah shit. They say, oh, yeah, we can scream Allah, but we're about to make some weapons. We're about to build weapons and systems because we know our name is going to be on their mouth. Just like 10 years ago, it was Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. So I'm going to have Joby, as she plays, I'm going to have Joby go look up Gaddafi. I'm going to Joby type in YouTube, say Gaddafi tells other Arab leaders that they could be next to be attacked. And they laugh. He's up in Russia now. You guys say we're making.
You're breaking, Keith. We're losing you. Okay, as we look up on this, as we wait on him, Gaddafi lashes out at Arab leaders during the 2008 Arab League summit. Okay, and he was right. So I'm going to share that in a bit, but we lost Keith there in a minute. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Cape that blew down. Hope you're doing amazing. Shout out to everyone who's on the chat. Kindly hit that like button. Subscribe if this is your first time right here. And of course, do download our app as well. Blackout Fire Network is the name. Get yourself some amazing organic supplements we do have right there on the BHFN Sports page. You also have amazing active apparel store. Get yourself some hats like this. These are Blackout Fire actually merchandise. Let me zoom it for you guys. There's a Blackout Fire Network merchandise over there. So get yourself one in case you're looking for one. I'm rocking this today, so that's my look for now. And of course, we have amazing hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have vests, we have mugs, we have short glasses, anything you'd like, sandals, handbags for your side chick and for your wife. Get yourself one. But anyway, as we continue, so before we wait for Kid, before I get to share the Gaddafi story, I also have a video. We have the Congress who has released a statement just an hour ago. Let me share this immediately right now. And this is a statement actually to impeach Donald Trump, because just like what Keith has said, and of course the response from so many Americans, they're saying this is so wrong. What Trump is doing, is literally declaring a war without even the consent of Americans. And it's something we actually even discussing last week, how they always do things without the consent of their citizens, because there's nowhere where Trump sat down or made a speech to the Americans and said, like, hey, America feels this and this is a threat, explain it, elaborate it very well, of course, which is a lie as well. But
well, exactly, Joby, because that's what Congress is for. That's why he's supposed to go through Congress to get approval. What he did is illegal. That's why Congress is supposed to represent the people. So only Congress, Joby, can authorize a military strike on another country, not him.
So we have the Congress right here. This is a statement made an hour ago. Before I get to share the Gaddafi video, I have it on my queue, which you requested. We have the Congress who is talking about the impeachment of Donald Trump because of what he's doing. So let me share this very quickly.
I believe that
and the funny part, they're not going to impeach him because all them are controlled by is not real. See, all these, the funny part about it, all these Congress people were put into office by the cats. 98%. There's only one congressman. And he told you, all of them are controlled by the Rothschilds and is not real. I'm the only one. And that's the one, congressman that Trump went after. Oh, we got to get rid of Congressman Massey. He's got to go. He's terrible. He's got to go. Because he's the only one that's not controlled by is not real. And they've been trying to get his ass out of there. He's from Kentucky. They were trying to get rid of his ass. Because then there'd be 100% of Congress is controlled by a foreign power. Really a foreign family. And that's a fact. So I don't see them impeach his ass because they're all controlled by the same people he went to bomb for. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. Let me show.
Has committed an impeachable act. H-Res 57 addresses.
So this is the Texas congressman.
Abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers.
Yeah, that's the moron always grandstanding. Talking Negro nonsense all the time.
An authoritarian government. I believe that if we do not...
They know what he did is illegal. They would have had all these speeches, Joe, but they would always just implement he's got to be impeached. They're not going to do it because they're controlled by the same people who made him go bomb those people. They're supposed to have been already just wrote it up. He's impeached and impeach his ass because what he did is against the law. Go ahead, Joe. Make all these moronic ass speeches about nothing.
This authoritarian president will not only devolve the country into authoritarianism, I believe he is a would-be dictator who would become a dictator. So I today announce that later today, I will bring these articles of impeachment to the floor and I will call for a vote. I believe that the hour of decision is upon us and we all have to decide. Are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy?
Democracy indeed.
Understand when you're looking at something when you're not. This is the thing. He is a puppet of his not real, this moron here. All right? So understanding this just gives Trump cover. They pretend like they're coming after him when they're not. They pretend like you're getting dissent when you're not. Oh, look at they tried to impeach him. This is all fake. They put him out there, yeah, go pretend you're going to impeach him because we know you're not going to get the vote anyway. but you can say you had some pushback. This is all fake because that moron you just shown, Joby can look it up. What's his name, Joby? What's that guy's name? Congressman. That's his name will tip my tongue. King. What the fuck is that dude's name? And look and see how much money he gets from APAC. He's in the pocket of the same people he's talking about overthrowing Trump for. Get your ass out of here. What's his name? Richard King? What's that guy's name?
They're not giving me his name. They're saying Congressman AI Green announced he's bringing towards an article of impeachment against Donald Trump. Who's Green said?
Do this for me, Joey. Say who are? Go to YouTube or YouTube, Google. Say who are all the Democratic congressmen from Texas? Okay, Al Green. I think his name is Al Green. That's his name, Al Green. That's his name, Al Green. Now do this for me, Joey. Say how much money? Now I already know that his name is Al Green. Say how much money does Congressman Al Green get from AIPAC? AIPAC, which is Rothschilds. So many more, is that and even more? But they got so many organizations, so many different organizations. But that's their main one. But they started to hide that now too.
The same provided information does not mention Al Green being paid by PayPal. These such results refer to Al Green's music career, his religious life.
No, not that. That's the singer, not the congressman, Joey. Not say Congressman Al Green. That's the singer. That's the singer. Not the singer Al Green. The congressman. How much does the congressman get from AIPAC? Not the congressman. Not the singer. Not Al Green, the famous singer. Al Green, the congressman.
My bad.
Look at you didn't know.
See the justice of peace who says seek out Al Green.
Now, I don't expect you to tell us the truth because that's Google. And we know that it's not real owns and controls Google too. And that's a fact. So I just wanted to get a roundabout number. We know that he gets money from AIPAC.
Okay, let me see this. If it's gonna give me, still, it's not giving me.
Wow, they ain't telling you with nothing. Ain't that crazy? Always know when you're looking at Kabuki theater. I'm about Trump, and Trump is a deadly. We already know what he did is illegal. Everybody knows that. If you know just anything about your own country and what the Constitution says.
Yeah.
But Al Green is paid for. That's why he never represented anybody. None of these handkerchief-head congressmen ever represent anything to do with black people, ever. They represent, okay, but do this for me, Joby. Do this for me. Go to YouTube and say Senator Warnock. Say Senator Warnock.
Senator.
Senator,
Oh.
Senator. This black bullet. Senator Warnock gets yelled at.
Senator.
Senator. SENATOR. Senator Warnock. WARNOCK. Senator Warnock gets yelled at by black people for supporting Israel. Because that's what they all do. Because they're all bought and paid for with the fake money, just like the bootlicks in Africa. Get paid their money not to do anything for black people. In a sense, the same same hustle. So he's getting yelled at because people in Georgia, black people are poor. But they know all the money he keeps giving to Israel. And then they'll make a speech, we got to get rid of Trump. Trump's got to go. But, Zach, they let them know, what are you doing?
$8.8 billion. You know how many children are
Yep.
slaughtered
Waking up.
every day.
He don't care because he knows that the Jays put his ass in power. Just like we were looking for Al Green. They're all bought and paid for. Our Congress is controlled by these people. You understand that? You're never supposed to know that because they also own the media. All the news you look at, all the newspapers you read, the social media, they own all of it. So your narrative is even fucked up. Go ahead, Joby. Listen up.
Be respectful. Bombing children is okay, but you want us to be respectful. You sent $8.8 billion a month ago.
He ain't got no problem with bombing children because his masters said we need the money and you're going to bomb these kids, Negro, because they don't represent you. See his constituents in Georgia are upset? He don't care. Like Joby said, Trump didn't have to come to us because they all controlled by a certain group who makes money from nothing, who makes funny money, who owns all the banks, who owns these goddamn banks. That's why they want to go into Israel to get that, to get them, to make a bank up in there and get their resources. Israel don't have a Rothschild-owned bank. One of the few countries left that don't got a bank controlled and owned by the Rothschilds. That's why they want that country. You understand that? Go ahead, Joe.
Us to be respectful. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
It's not supposed to make sense. You mind your business. I'm a Israeli puppet, and you know that. What you say, lady, doesn't mean nothing because they know through the social media and the regular media, they're gonna control you morons' minds with those fake, like Joe said, them fake promise commercials they give you, which are lies, to vote for this idiot. But nothing ever changed. That's why America's all fucked up. Nothing's been done for the American people in 100 years because your Congress has been brought out since 1913 when the Rothschilds created that fake bank that John F. Kennedy tried to get rid of, and they shot him in the head one day in Dallas, which I was there yesterday. They shot him in his damn head. They even talking about, we got to get rid of this fake bank and this fake money. So you won't be getting rid of nothing. We'll be getting rid of your ass.
It's crazy. But before I get on the Gaddafi's video you requested earlier, let me share this very quick. We have Trump with some quick information just a few hours ago talking about how both Israel and Iran are violating ceasefire deals.
There was never no ceasefire. This moron, I already never had no agreement with this. We talking about he bombs a country, don't meet him and he just says it's a ceasefire. We want a ceasefire. There was no deal ever made, Joby. There's no ceasefire. Iran never talked to him. They told him to go pound sand and shut his old ass up. There's no deal they made with this moron. He just says crazy stuff. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was trying to think this through, trying to see what is Trump trying to play like here, because this is not even trying to play victim. I'm trying to look at, because I'm trying to look at what is now Trump trying to act like in this.
He's trying to claim a success that he's never had, like he broke a ceasefire. You can't get a ceasefire. He didn't. Okay, Joby, I'm punching you in your face. I sneak and punch you in the mouth. Okay, imagine you want to you're not punching your mouth. Then I say, Joby, don't hit me. Let's all be friends now. and then I never talked to you about it. I just punched you in your mouth and I ran, and now you're still looking for me to get street Negroes on me. And then I said, nah, it's over. I said, nah, Joby, it's over. You know, I decided that's over between me and you. I haven't talked to you at all. That's what he's saying.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that.
He's got to say that because his whole base has found him out to be a phony. His whole base knows he's controlled by. Everybody keeps saying it's not real. He got to say it right because his whole base knows now. Hey, I think he is controlled by Israel. Yeah, dummy. Who created Israel? Joe Bill told you, the Rothschilds created Israel. We showed you the Balfour Declaration. Lord Rothschild created Israel in 1917. That's their whole country given to them. That was part of the Ottoman Turk Empire when they overthrew the Ottomans. All those fake countries you got, all those fake kingdoms, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Qatar, that was all the Ottoman Empire. Okay? All them fake ass kingdoms. And so that part of the Ottoman kingdom was given to Lord Rothschild. God is not real today. You get it? Go ahead, Joe.
He's not real.
We have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Iran ain't been fighting no Israel. What are you talking about? Israel's the terror threat because they want to steal all that land. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So he wrote this is the statement Trump wrote. He said, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do it, a major violations. Bring your pilots home now. And he also said, Israel is not going to attack Iran. All plans will turn around head home and while doing a friendly plane wave to Iran. Nobody will be hurt. To ceasefire is in effect. And thank you for your attention to this matter. So that is what he says. And he also says Iran will never build their nuclear facilities. So still declaring war as he talks about how the both countries.
This means Iran is going to. If you don't do it, you still attack us. That's right. Never they can.
I'm losing you. Okay, we lost Kid there in a minute, but hope we're gonna get him back. Shout out to Jao Mosquito, I see you on the chat. Shout out to Zibat Zaba, Karibu Sana. Shout out to Ricky Snow. Shout out to KW Don. Shout out to Jason. Everyone with us on the chat. I see you guys. 25 of you on the chat. Kindly hit that like button. And in case you are on Rumble, Buchits, Karibuni Sana as well. Feel welcomed. Feel free to also pin your conversation or comment like right there on the live chat as well. And so remember to download the application. Blackout Fire Network is the name. Blackout Fire Network is the name on the Google Play Store. If you are an Apple user as well, we have an active link. www.blackoutfirenetwork is our website link. Let me share this video here as we wait for Mr. Blackout Fire to come back. Gonna manage to come back.
شو سبب تدمير العراق وغزو العراق وقتل مليون عراق؟
Oh, it's not Swahili. It's not Swahili. It's not English translated, but this is when Gaddafi did won the Arab leaders during the 2008 League Summit, and like Kid said, they laughed to him or laughed about it. I'm not sure if I can find. Let me see if I can find an English translated one. That would be easy. This is not given. All right, so Gaddafi speech at Arab League meeting. Okay, let me share this. Let me share this one. Let's see.
لما تكلموا عن
None of them are translated, so it's gonna be a little bit hard for us to continue. It's none of them are English.
حدود 67 يعني هذه حقيقة شيء مذهل جدا جدا. وين القضية اللي قبل 67؟ كنا نكذب على أنفسنا ونكذب على العالم. آلاف الشهداء سقطوا قبل 67 من أجل من؟ كيف تقولون أن فلسطين؟
Yeah, none of them are translated. But anyway, maybe on TikTok I can find it. But before we get into that, let me share this here. Share this one from TikTok. There we have
breaking news right now. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, is saying that we are not at war with Iran. We are just at war with Iran's nuclear program. Not sure how you can be at war with a country's nuclear program and not the country itself. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is saying that if Iran...
Are you in war with the country's nuclear program, but not in war with the country? If that makes sense.
Retaliates, it'll be the worst mistake.
It doesn't make sense. It's crazy talk.
Down the path towards creating a nuclear weapon that it would eventually topple the regime. Now, we've had worldwide condemnation this morning from Russia, China, and North Korea, all condemning United States strikes in Iran. AOC, meanwhile, continues to call for Donald Trump's impeachment over what she calls constitutional violations for not seeking congressional approval ahead of time prior to launching the strikes in Iran. Iran still has not decided what to do in response to the strikes. We might get a decision as soon as this morning or later this afternoon, so bear with me. Subscribe to my Substack at the link to my bio to support my work.
Well, Iran had already warned that if the U.S. attacked, it would unleash sleeper cell attacks inside the country. And now that the U.S. did carry out those strikes, that threat remains active, very active. Sleeper cells are covert groups of individuals planted in a target country like the US by a foreign power or terrorist organization, that's what they claim, and they live seemingly normal lives, often for years, without taking action until they are activated to carry out a mission such as bombing.
Until they're activated, until they're activated in a country to bomb, kill, maim, but I don't believe. I believe a false flag will happen. It'll be Israel will pretend to be Iranians and kill Americans, so Americans get riled up to fight them. False flags. It's like 9/11. 9/11 was done by the cats. Was done by them. If you don't know that by now, you are a moron. You think it was done by Saddam Hussein? Osama bin Laden in a dirty cave in Afghanistan. You check your IQ at the door. You're an idiot.
Exactly what they say. They say that They say the notable example is the 9/11 hijackers. Yeah, you're going out again, Kate. They say a notable example is the 9/11 hijackers, some whom lived quietly in the US for months, blending in before carrying out one of the deadliest attacks in history, American history. But anyway,
and as a false flag, that wasn't no damn sleeper cells by no Afghanistan. That was the CIA who did that. But Mossad. So that was a false flag. That wasn't a damn sleeper cell, Joby. That was an inside job. That was the Mossad and the CIA doing it, claiming it to be secret cells up in the. That was it. Israeli intelligence and CIA did not.
That's crazy. That's super crazy. But I also have a video right here on the queue. But before I get to continue with that, let me go through the comments very quickly to catch up without being left behind. Shout out to Jason. Karibu sana once again. KW Dawn. Karibu sana once again. He also says Kamala married a small heart. End of story. And that's what's up. No debates.
Exactly. They all got hand. They all got hand. All of Trump's family are hats. All of Camilla's family are hats. Isn't that funny? They all got hats. And it's always like that. Go through all the damn president's family. They all got hats. All of them. We never know, but go ahead, Joe.
I also see he also asked that Iran is a list of countries that the West wanted regime changed in, and Wesley Clark exposed this years ago. And of course, which is also another defense mechanism they're coming with. They're talking about this is not even about, especially on this video that I'm about to share, it has like different clips on different speeches, events that have been happening since the beginning of this war. This guy, whoever is explaining it, let me give this caution before Keith comes after him because I have to give a caution. The guy explaining it, of course, is a coon, just like Alex Jones. But I did love the fact that the videos, the inner clips in between, they're giving us something we've not seen. Of course, you don't see on the mainstream media. They're talking about what exactly KW is explaining right here. Iran is a list of the countries that the West wanted regime changed. But they're talking about, which I saw on the clip on this video, they're saying this is not about the regime being changed, they're just trying to protect the life of many civilians. But shout to Ricky, he also says, what percentage of Caucasians gun carry coward going run to board of Canada if drafts take place? I didn't get the question correctly. Did you, Keith? I think that's a question. He's asking what percentage of Caucasian
Yeah,
gun.
he tries to say how many white boys are going to run to Canada so they can avoid getting drafted and have to fight this war. If they always run to Canada. They try to stick into Canada so they won't have to fight the war.
Oh, okay. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
But I also say 64 years of Mother Earth, and I have never voted for these politicians. I'm glad my grandfather explained to me who controls the world, and your vote doesn't mean anything. Thank you. That is super,
Not a
super
damn thing.
exactly. I've been arguing with people about that lately, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna argue with you anymore about me going to take a voter's card because I won't. You can't change my mentality. I'll just never go queue and vote for this system so long as it remains the same globally. Unless we have something different,
It's a global system. Exactly.
I'll talk
It's a
to the
global
white people.
system.
Unless we have aliens coming to save us, hell no. I'm not going to vote. Shout out to Jiba Jabba once again. He also says, what is he talking about? If this continues, he'll lose the House and the Senate. And the
They
Senate.
know that it doesn't matter. Of course, exactly right. But it's going to be the same. It's just going to go back to the Democrats, and they're going to do the same thing. It doesn't change, jibber jibber. Exactly. They know that. Exactly. He's going to lose the House and the Senate. So the Republicans are going to lose, and the Democrats are going to win. But they ran by the same people. So nothing's going to change. You're going to get the same war against Iran. Same thing. It's a con game, like Joe saying. It doesn't matter if he loses the House or loses the damn Senate. That's the scam.
Yep.
That's the con game.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's going to lose it. But the people, we just read that. You just read that Warnock is controlled by Israel. Everybody was screaming, he's a Democrat. Like, hey, what you doing giving money to Israel? What are you doing? They're killing people. He's like, well, so what? So what? He don't care. Because he knows who puts him in there. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I feel like trying to look at this whole system, how it is set up, and understanding why they have to do what they have to do. It's like what you're trying to explain earlier, Keith, with what is happening in Kenya, right? Talking about Raila being a paid opposition. But when it comes to the white people or the white opposition, starting from the president to the member of parliament, the senators, whatever, the Congress, whoever, these people, all of them actually live in scarcity of wealth. Okay, so if
exactly.
either you work for me or you're gonna end up being in poverty, and
exactly, Joe.
Seeing who you are. So of course, because there's also this name build up about me in this political class, I have to keep up with the bidding because I don't want to be seen less of a person while we live in a race which we know factually we don't have any power, we don't have any resources to keep on generating us. So the more obedient, which is so wrong, the more obedient I am, the more I get to live the life I want.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Toby. You just figured, yes.
They're all living in when I mean a scarcity, is scarcity of everything, scarcity of food, resources, everything, because they never had it from the beginning. If we go now to scientific
Exactly.
facts, so
Exactly.
I think that's just it. They have to do the bidding because all of them are living in a scheme of not only just stealing from other people, but a scheme of building each other, no matter how bad it has to get for all of them. No matter who goes down, you'll have to go. Even if you go down, you'll have to do what is, the best for those who have to benefit. So it's selfish. It's crazy.
And
It's so inhumane. It's
exactly.
crazy.
Exactly.
It is so
Why do you think he said the world is being run by psychopaths? It's psychopathic, Joby.
Yeah. So if we try and understand that literally, I feel like that is just it. If you look at Trump, which you've been explaining, this man, number one, not only as
The
he,
failure.
yeah, we've checked his failures a couple of times, how many times he's been saved and all that. You look at all that, you're like, oh, these people living in scarcity. So there's a class of people who actually, of course, dominate the world. They can steal, and because the rest of you, all you have to do is obey, and if you don't obey, you
Obey.
can
You obey your big. If you
yeah,
obey Joby, you're giving the world. That's why
yeah,
you just name what? You just name what? The Hollywood and music stars. If they obey, get their butt taken and sodomized and do what they're told, you'll be given riches, Joby. And if you don't, if you do a Kanye West one day, say, you know what? I think the Jews own everything. You'll be cut off immediately. All your money you thought you had, Joby's gone. His bank accounts were closed. They said that was my money. They said, no, your money's in our bank, and your money's our money. Closed down the banks, took all his money. He thought he was a billionaire. You ain't no billionaire, moron. We made you, dummy.
We also have Jason who says exactly, Ricky reminds me when everyone was voting for Obama, especially all the old indoctrinated folks thinking that he was the first black president, and that he would really
He would do something. I screamed my head out there, but especially my mother. My mama did it. Can we just give him a chance? Can you give him time to get it? I said, Mom, he's already showing you he's bought and paid for before he gets to office. Look at the cabinet and everybody's around. These are all Rothschilds and Jays. No, but they just give him a chance. And the people that don't never want to believe, it's always, can we get Samuel Ruto? Can we give him a chance? Can you give him a chance? Then 8 years later, you see he threw everybody under the bus. They still talking about, can they give him a chance? Shit.
Nah, no more chances. Let me share these videos. Like I did give a warning, so you guys don't come after me telling me who's this bootlicking. I always give you guys a warning before I share a video. It's a bootlick, but look at the in-between clips and what they're really telling us.
Days that he seeks peace, and Iran, just like Soleimani found out in the first term, Iran found out when POTUS says 60 days that he seeks peace and negotiation, he means 60 days of peace and negotiation. Otherwise, that nuclear program, that nuclear capability will not exist.
I mean, the fact is we have a strong president, a decisive president, and the most lethal military in the world. And there's a huge difference between what's going on in Iran right now and what happened in Iraq over 20 years ago.
I want you to understand and see, this is all propaganda because the cats own all this media. This is a fake narrative. It's a lie. It's a false. They're trying to march in the war. They're the same as Iraq. Exactly the same as Iraq. Same lies. But they say, no, it's different, bro. They fake the narrative. That's why they'll never, but you have no real media. They want to shut you down social media. They want their fake lies and narratives out there. So you believe. This is called mind control. This is brainwashing. This is all a lie. And they own it all. Go ahead, Joe.
We'll defend our people, obviously. We'll defend our people. Well, they'll attack our bases. And those are our bases. And we're going to defend our personnel. And we're prepared to do that. But we'll do more than just defend. We'll impose costs on Iran if they attack American personnel, whether they do it directly or whether they do it through some of these proxies that they try to hide behind. And that includes the Houthis.
Yeah.
interview with that's then put there. This might affect because of for those wanting to fly it.
Now, the entire
this is from the United Nations, a speech there.
So the entire world should say on record today, here and now, thank you. Thank you to the United States for removing the greatest threat to global security. Thank you, President Trump, for acting when so many hesitated.
That's the same thing Netanyahu said, if you guys saw the video.
Thank you.
That's the Israeli and the Americans. They're all criminals. Everybody else is saying, no, what you did was criminal. See, that's them. That's why this whole thing is fake. That's the Jays trying to exonerate themselves for doing an illegal act by bombing a country illegally who hasn't done anything to anybody. I don't got the right to come punch you in the mouth, Joby, and say, how dare you exist? That's what he's saying. I get to come punch you in the mouth.
I'm punching you back and I ensure you're not breathing.
Exactly. That's what Iran is exactly. This is psychopathic talk.
With strength and with moral clarity.
Moral clarity.
Some come here to denounce.
They've been bombing and killing people for 2 years, and he's talking some morality. They've been bombing and killing people for 2 years, and ain't nobody did nothing, because everybody knows these are the cats that control your money, control your fake money. They go into Africa to steal the resources to back the fake money and leave Africans impoverished. Remember Netanyahu? After I finish in Gaza, I'm going to come save the African. That means I'm coming to get the shit back that you Negroes are trying to keep for yourselves, your diamonds and your gold. You're trying to wake up. I'm about to bomb you Negroes. Make sure things stay the same. Go ahead.
States and Israel. So let me ask you, where were you? Where were you when Iran raced toward the bomb?
Yeah, what he's saying, Iran ain't got no bomb. See, look at all this line. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? Everything he says is a lie. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? Everything he said is an absolute lie. And everybody in that meeting told him he's a liar. They told him and the American, you're liars and you're criminals. And if you keep doing it, we're going to have to go to war against you bastards.
Beyond the point of civilian usage, when it buried entire forces beneath mountain to prepare for our extermination.
Lie.
Where were you when Iran turned negotiation into theater and deceit into strategy?
The lies are just so damn blatant. It's crazy. I can't even be a diplomat. I'm like, I can't look to this diplomatic lie. Iran said they would meet them Sunday to talk, to discuss it. And look, Israel's the only one that didn't show nobody that they got weapons, right? They got the bomb. That's another reason why they killed Kennedy. Is Kennedy said, Israel, you can't make a nuclear bomb. They already had made it. And so this is how crazy this is. Iran agreed to have everybody come inspect them and show that their nuclear power was just for what? Electricity. So they have power the country. So they allowed independent, the IAEA, to come in and investigate what they got and show that they wasn't making a bomb. Israel's the only country that says, no, you can't come see what we got. They're the ones going against international law. They say, you can't come in here, we're not going to show you shit. And everybody knows Israel has the nuclear bomb. Everybody knows it. But they tell you that you can't come in and get this shit. You know why? Because they're Israel. And they got the fake money scheme that they use over and over again. Because they, he got the bomb. They're the ones been murdering, killing. They're the ones who created ISIS, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, every terrorist group, this motherfucker here, along with the Americans, created. Every damn terrorist group, they done. That's why you see them now with in Syria. Who controls Syria, guys? Oh, Al-Qaeda. And is Al-Qaeda attacking Israel? No. Ain't that the terrorist group that they said was so bad until they overthrew Assad, took over Syria, and now they got Al-Qaeda. The head of Al-Qaeda is now the president of Syria. He's the president. The motherfucker who was chopping off heads in Al-Qaeda. You understand this? And they telling you about some evil control right now. The people, they got a terrorist motherfucker as president, Al-Qaeda. But they ain't got no problem with him because they know they created his ass. They overthrew Assad to get control, to put their puppet in Syria. Now who's stealing the oil and the resource out of Syria? Oh, Israel and America. Israel and America controls now Syria's oil and rare earth minerals and damn resources. Israel and America. That's the scale. Now, Joe, we can look this up. Hold that real quick, Joe. Go to Google. Say Al-Qaeda leader becomes president of Syria. Like what? And why ain't nobody screaming about that? Why ain't that fake black ass bootlicking Negro screaming about you having a Al-Qaeda leader as president of Syria now? Because they put him in there. He's their puppet. That's why. You don't got that bootlicking ass Negro talking about that leader. Say the new leader of Syria is former Al-Qaeda leader. Is it AILQUEDA, Al-Qaeda?
Yeah, a minute.
Now he's a good Al-Qaeda. He's our because every terrorist group they created.
The same is a former Al-Qaeda insurgent who fought.
Yeah, he's a former Al-Qaeda insurgent. He's the Al-Qaeda leader, Joby. They want see that's why he was not even changing. He's just an insurgent, Joby. He's a former Al-Qaeda insurgent. He's an Al-Qaeda leader, Joby. He's the president. Now you got a whole terrorist, Joby, a president of Syria because they overthrew Syria, Joby. And now they got no problem with their Al-Qaeda terrorist as the president now.
The scam is crazy, man. But let me continue.
Go ahead.
You were silent. You were complicit. You were afraid. You were bystanders.
You are a damn liar.
Ago, I said before this council and called for a coalition of the courageous. I called for a coalition with the moral clarity and strength to confront the greatest threat our world has seen since the Second World War. Last night, the leader of the free world acted with that courage. The United States acted, not just for itself, but for every nation that values freedom, the shadow of a nuclear disaster hanging over.
Israel's the most non-free racist state that ever exists. It's an apartheid state. It's an ethno-supremacist state. I've been there. Ethno-supremacist state has nothing to do with any freedom. It's racist as shit. You know, as Iran is bombing their ass right now, right? Iran is bombing their ass. You got the people that know all. They call the bum people, the little people. They got people there from Philippines, people in from, of course, the goopy Negroes from Ethiopia, and the other people from, I think, Thailand. They were not allowed in the bomb shelter. Only white Jews. So when they're getting bombed, all the other people had to be out there and get murdered. They don't get to go into the bomb shelter of this free state. He's talking this nonsense. He's talking this freedom. They believe these motherfuckers don't believe in no freedom and never have. They're racist as shit. They have an ethno-supremacist state called Is Not Real, created by the Rothschilds and terrorism because they literally showed up there and stole people's homes. Not figuratively, literally. I go and smack Joe in the head. Get your ass out this house. It's my house. Not no more of it. That's what literally happened. That's how you got the creation of Israel. They knock a motherfucking head, steal his house, and say it ain't yours no more. That's what happened. That's real. Go ahead, Joe. Continue.
Other than that, shall we? I've got a video clip of an Iranian beautiful young
spit on
lady.
you over there.
She wants everyone to know what it's like to go to school there. When she was going to school there.
And pause it, Joby. And the funny part about this, genetically, they're the same fucking people. Because these fake Iranians, they're not even the real Persian. Africans are the original Persians, not these people. All these people come down from the Caucasus Mountains. They're all Turkish Mongolians. If they do a DNA test, the Israelis, these Israelis claim to be, Hebrews, which are not. They're the same race as these motherfuckers here. They're the same people, because these are not ancient Persians either. They stole that land from the black people who were the original Persians. These are the dirty secrets. The original Palestinians are black or Africans. The original Iranians are black or Africans. And the original Hebrews are black or Africans. None of these people are original to that land that they sit on today. Those people come from the Caucasus Mountains. They know that. They call themselves the original Aryans. They're not the original Persians. The Persians were black people, which these people are not. You still got some black people in Iran they never show you. Those are the original ones. They said all these are slaves. They brought from Africa. The hell they are. Those are the original Persians that are still in Iran that you'll never see on TV. So they're just as racist as shit too. Don't get it twisted. These white Persians are racist as shit. That's what I told you. Don't believe in none of their fake religions. Their fake Islam, their fake Christianity. They all got one thing in common. They're all racist as fuck. And funny, the God they worship never told them not to be racist. And everything goes back to black. That's what kills me. So these people are not Persians. We're going to keep this 100. Shame the devil and hurt some motherfuckers' feelings. These are not Persians. Those other people are not Hebrews. Those other people that they bombing in Gaza are not Palestinians. I've already showed you the real Palestinians that were still living there, that the white Palestinians called them niggers and slaves. If you're not African, you're not a Persian, you're not a Hebrew, and you're damn sure not a Palestinian. All that shit was African lands, all of it. Original Persians are black. Real history, not the fake history that they make up and make white people all in your movies, all that old shit. Show your white people with Samson, all that fake biblical shit they show in the movies, everybody white. Those lands were all African. And those people were all African. Not these goddamn barbarians from the Asian steppes. That's where they come from. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu changed his name from Malachowski to Netanyahu. Because he's not from them. That's why you can't take a DNA test in Israel. It's illegal. Joby can look this up on Google. See, we've already looked it up before. It's illegal to take a DNA test in is not real because you're not a Hebrew. Unless you're an African, you're not a Hebrew. Unless you're an African, you're not a Palestinian. Unless you're an African, you're not a Persian. We don't keep that 100. You're cosplaying African culture, African civilization, and African people that you hate. You're cosplaying their history, not yours. Well, go ahead, Joby. Let's listen to this Persian girl, okay?
She learned and saw while living there in Iran.
This is my experience going to school and growing up in Iran. In Iran, you're not allowed to criticize the government in any shape or form. And if you do,
this propaganda, we got Percy. See, this is them trying to get an excuse why they should go invade a sovereign country. So what? That ain't none of our business what they do. She got to change. If that's the problem, let her change the government. See, let's say, remember the same thing they did with Iraq, remember? The lies. Oh, Iraq is killing babies. We're finding babies out on the ground in incubators. This is called propaganda, guys, mind control. To make you feel sorry for this little white girl, so you want to go fight to free her. I don't give a fuck what they do. That's her cause. You free yourself. They ain't got shit to do with us. I don't care if they don't let you go to school or what you got to do. then your people should rise up and overthrow the government, because that's what they did in 1978. I'm gonna have Joby show this. We didn't have nothing to do with that. We're gonna show this. So this is propaganda to get you to feel a certain way, as if we gotta go save this little white girl from her wicked government. They got shit to do with us. That's her job to go. That's what people do. If you don't like your government, change the shit. Why should I go have my babies die to change your fucking government? See, this is Jewish propaganda. Understand it. They own all the media. This is propaganda to get you to have consent. This is called control consent. Right? This is manufactured to get you to consent to a war that doesn't benefit you, that benefits them. So this is manufactured consent. That's why they always want to control the narrative. Oh, look at this girl. She's got to wear this to go to school. And oh, my God. I don't give a fuck. That's her country. Who gives a fuck what they do? I got shit to do with that. I'm supposed to go die because so she can go to school in Iran? That's her country. If she wants to overthrow the government, let her do it. See, they try to get you to get the same thing they did with Iraq. Remember, Iraq doesn't have democracy, and Saddam is such a bad guy. And look at Iraq today. It's all bombed and fucked up, destroyed. Same thing told you about Gaddafi in Libya. Remember? Gaddafi, and since most Americans are stupid, they know you're dumb, you never travel. Most Americans don't got no passport. You've never left the country. So they told you, look at Gaddafi, he's a bad guy. He's killing his own people. You didn't know Gaddafi had free education. You know Gaddafi was giving free houses. You know Gaddafi had free medical. You know Gaddafi had gave you free school, gave you everything. What are they talking about? But they saying there, Gaddafi's a terrorist. Can't nobody go to school and he's hurting people. And then you found out later, what are you talking about? Gaddafi's giving free school. Gaddafi gave you money from the oil. That was part of the people. So every month you would get a salary from that oil money. Everybody in Libya. Oh, now you don't get now. Got your oil now. The Rothschilds got your oil. They got the millions of dollars from it now. And now no one gets a salary. There's no more free education in Libya. Libya's destroyed. It's a failed state. Nobody gets free homes like Gaddafi was giving them. Nobody gets money when they get married. Gaddafi's also giving free farmland. If you wanted to farm, he gave you farmland and seeds for free. For free. Oh, that's all gone too. But now you got supposedly democracy. Everybody's broke, fucked up with the democracy. Don't nothing work. Country's been bombed into the Stone Ages. See, this is the same scam they're running right here. They can go and bomb, and they're going to make it all fucked up because they want it fucked up, and then they get to steal everybody's resources. You got democracy, and don't shit work. All your oil is now gone to the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. All your gas, oil, your rare earth minerals, all in their pocket. All your people are starving and fucked up, but they got democracy. You get the scam. Go ahead. This propagandist ass broad here.
So I remember before I started first grade, my mom
I don't have any socks.
She was like, "Hey,
I don't have underwear.
Anything bad about the government, like how we talk about it at home.
They make me doodle in my clothes.
They're gonna come after us." So that's when I started to become aware of this sense of fear and paranoia and watching my words. And then in school, they force you to wear the hijab as part of the uniforms, and that was something, as a kid, like imagine being forced to wear something when you don't even
they
know
wear that hijab shit in Africa.
And also that's when they started to enforce
Dr. Joby's goofy sister shit.
It's not really Muslim or not traditional. That's part of the curriculum. You have to memorize the Quran in another language to be able to pass the grades. It's all in every grade.
You got to
crying as a
you got to read the Bible in Africa too, lady. So what? You got to read the Bible in Africa too, lady. Are they being suppressed?
Allah is going to do this to you. And I was like, dang, like, not the God I talk to every night. Something
this is so fake.
Here,
this is so fake. You said it's propaganda. It's so fake. See, most people understand this is so fake. She's prostitute. Oh, I got to wear the hijab. I got to wear my goofy career. Joby had to read the Bible every day. Joby had to do all that goofy shit. So I'm supposed to invade Kenya because Joby had to do that dumb shit? Fuck out of here. Exactly.
There in Iran, and many have been on sharing social media post, kind of reminding us of what the Iranian parliament was actually screaming death to America.
Well, I guess, Joby, I guess if you've been trying to overthrow my government for 40 years, you put me in sanctions, I guess I would be saying death to you. That's only common sense. See, this is propaganda. Remember, Iran was put under sanctions when they overthrew the American government in 1978. We know in 1953 the CIA overthrew Iran because because Mossadegh said, now that I'm president, I'm going to give my oil to my people. And they said, what? You're going to do what? How dare you, you dirty fake Persian bastard? You're going to get what to who? The hell you are. And so we know the CIA overthrew Mossadegh in 1953. So I want Joe to look this up. So we're going to put some clarity to this propaganda. What's up, Joe? We say the president of Iran was overthrown in 1953. So that's what they put their puppet in. And then they got the other puppet, again, the son of the puppet now making speeches in California. Say, people of Iran, I want to come back and be your leader. What are they talking about?
They're saying that in 1953, Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammed democratically. They're saying democratically.
Yeah, because because they don't believe in democracy. He was actually elected, Joby, and he started working for the people. So you know what they did? They had to get rid of him. They said, what?
Yeah.
You gotta go. Go ahead, Joby.
Orchestrated by the CIA and the M16. This was Operation as Operation Ajax, aimed to Operation Ajax. What does that even fucking mean? Aimed to remove Mossad after he nationalized Iran's oil.
And the oil, Mossadegh, because he said, you know what, Joby? Our resources are supposed to help the people so they wouldn't be poor, Joby. And they said, what? Are you out of your mind? Your resources belong to us. So I want you to understand what this is all about. What this is a continuation of what's happening right today, Joe. Awesome. So they said, we're taking those. You out of your mind. You got to go. He was democratically elected, Joe. They don't believe in no democracy. That's a scam. That's a scam. So they overthrew his ass, Joby. So they put their puppet in called the Shah. So for 20 years, he ruled with for 25 years, Joe. He ruled with an iron fist, killing people. Same thing Rudo did. They put him in power until the people had enough. So I want you to go to YouTube real quick and say Iran overthrows the Shah. SHA. So we know, so they put their puppet in, Joe, in 1953, Shah. By 1978 or 79, they overthrew his ass. And so now the country's been ruled by the same people she's crying about, who wants to get it, who now took their oil and given it back to their people. And now got to control their own resources. So now that people come back, them resources belong to us. We're going back in to take Iran back over. So this is what you're looking at, Joe. The thing to make sure they steal everybody's shit. They go to YouTube and say Iran overthrows the Shah.
Secret for decades, but for the first time now, the CIA has released documents that show its role in the 1953 coup. That is the coup that toppled Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister. Mohammed Mossadegh had moved to nationalize oil production in Iran. Well, the U.S. was concerned at the time
Joby, what did Ibrahim Traore do? He nationalized the gold and the oil, Joby. Yep. And that's why they're trying to assassinate him. Mm-hmm. I want you to understand how this all plays out. Go ahead.
For the Soviets in the Cold War. So shortly after his election, the CIA began to plan his overthrow, teaming up with Britain's MI6.
MI6 and the Mossad. So MI6 is England, and Mossad, of course, is the Israeli. So he's democratically elected, Joby. They don't believe in no election unless their puppet is in there. You see, they got what? Their puppet in now Syria. They're Al-Qaeda puppets.
Yeah.
They only want their puppets in there, Joe. They called it an election. So when you overthrow the puppets of Africa, oh, you're not doing democracy, Joey. Democracy. They don't give a fuck about no democracy unless their puppet is in there, giving all the country's resources and wealth to them. That's what's been going on forever, Joe.
Yep.
So he was elected by the people, and he said, you know what? Now I'm going to turn my oil over to my people and get the same thing Gaddafi did. That's why Gaddafi had free housing, Joby. He's an African country, wouldn't really should belong to him. It was an African country, Joby. And so everybody in Libya was given free housing, free college, free education, period, from kindergarten to college. Free farms if you wanted it, free education, free hospitalization. All hospitals were free, Joby, all of it. Because your resources in Africa, especially Africa, should nobody be poor. So Gaddafi had to go when he said, you know what? Africa's so wealthy, let's make some gold currency out of Africa. They said, the hell you will. So understand, they don't believe in this fake democracy. It's all a scam, it's a lie. If they got their puppet in, they'll call it democracy. If you overthrow their puppet, oh, what about democracy, Joey? What about democracy?
I've seen it spelling out its involvement in a series of newly declassified documents. These are the actual documents marked confidential, top secret, eyes only. It's the stuff of crime and mystery and spy novels. This one talks about the security implications of CIA letters of commendation for those who served in that operation codenamed TP Ajax. And this one, dated July 22nd, 1953, almost a month before the coup, it talks about preparing an official American statement to follow a successful coup. So let's dig deeper into this story. We're joined now by Middle East analyst.
Yeah, we don't want to dig deeper, so just wanted to share slightly on that. Let me go to the actual video you asked me to share. How the U.S. and the dictatorship.
Yeah, I just want to overthrowing the Shah. Say Iran overthrows the Shah, 1978, 79. So they finally, so the people rose up and finally overthrew the puppet. And so, of course, the Rothschild and the rest and the Mossad army, that damn Iraqi oil belongs to us, Joby! How dare you get your oil back? How dare you? So they put in all these fake sanctions. How dare you? Your resources don't belong to you. And you goddamn Africans, none of your resources belong to you. How dare you?
The Shah is generally accepted as having been a very repressive and oppressive ruler. His
he's an oppressive puppet. They loved him. Torturing, killing people. Same shit Rudo does.
While there was terrible poverty in his country. In your book,
terrible poverty, Joby. Poverty, because you know why? They were made poor because you know who got the oil when they put their puppet in. They made him rich, and all that money was going where? To the West, to the Rothschilds, and all the cats with the hats, Joby. And everybody in Iran was poor, like Africa. Go ahead.
Enough in quashing those who threatened his nation's stability. Do you think he should have been more ruthless?
Remember?
Yes, I do. Particularly in view of the fact
threatened his president, Joe. Remember that same thing Ruto said? You're not going to be allowed to threaten the stability of Kenya. Remember that? Same shit. Same shit. So that's an ex-president right there. President Nixon. Tell him he probably think they should have been more ruthless so they can keep stealing from the people who are impoverished. Remember, the Iranians were put in poverty, Joe, because all their resources were going to no good motherfuckers like him and the Jays. But go ahead.
We're not those who were basically more liberal, but because basically they were reactionary. They were the true reactionaries. Let's look at the Shah for just a moment and look at him very fairly. He actually was a progressive in a number.
He was a progressive. I want you to listen to a psychopath. The Shah of Iran was murdering people, torturing people, He was a progressive. He was a good guy. So he had to torture people. Yeah, but they was giving us their resources. Of course, he was torturing these dirty ass Iranians, and they was in poverty. But so what? That's how the world's supposed to be. Because this is the psychopath.
Reform program. He instituted a literacy program. He sent thousands of students from Iran to the United States, and particularly the United States, to study, and in other countries as well. He liberated women. The irony was that those he liberated, the women and the students he sent abroad, they came back and joined the revolutionary forces. And the irony was that the Shah, being progressive, was attacked as being reactionary and conservative.
That wasn't the irony. They knew that. They knew that. See, this is how crazy white people think. Because they come to your country and you teach them bullshit. They don't know that all the resources are going to you. That the country's resources have left them in poverty. That's what you're scared about Africa. And the Africans finally understanding they're not supposed to be poor. They're not supposed to be poor in Africa, in the richest continent on the planet. So that's what's happening also, what's happened with the Shah. They're like, hey, man, all our oil wealth is going to these people while we're poor in Iran. How are we poor? We're not supposed to be poor. And the Shah's family's all rich. Go ahead, Jimmy.
We're the reactionaries. Putting it very bluntly and very simply, the Shah was trying to move Iran into the 20th century. His opponents, Khomeini et al.
Now, you notice a lot, now you know him being the president, he knew, at that time, most people didn't know that Mossadegh was, I knew, but most people back then didn't know that Mossadegh was overthrown, was democratically elected. They put their puppet in. He knows that, this moron knows that the Shah's a puppet, their puppet. He knows that. And he knows that the American people didn't know, as he's saying this bullshit, that they overthrew a democratically elected government back in '53. Because most Americans are dumb as shit. Don't know anything about geopolitics and how the world works or nothing. So he knows he's just talking crazy here without nobody to push back. Say, hey, didn't you overthrow the president of Iran and put this puppet in? Or you keep saying he's progressive? He's not even, nobody elected him. You installed him in power. You overthrew and then murdered Mossadegh, who was elected by the Iranians, and said, let's give our oil back to our people who it belongs to. It's their resources. Let's give it back to our people and make them rich. And you said, hell no. That's got to go. Go ahead, Joe.
Back into the Dark Ages, and that's what they've done. Now, there was some repression, true. Now there is total repression. There may not have been enough land reform. Now there is none whatever. What I am simply suggesting is this, that when we look at the Shah, we have to look at him in terms of what he confronted. And he confronted revolutionary forces there that were not working, in my view, for what was best for Iran and certainly not best for ourselves. And most importantly, from the United States.
So this white European's gonna tell the people of Iran what's best for them. See, this is that same bullshit they do to Africa. It's not good for Africa for even to give his money and stuff back to the people. Those niggas are supposed to be poor and fucking butt naked and broke and have no shoes on. This is the psychopath of these people, because they stolen every damn thing. It's absolute. When you listen to these morons, these psychopaths, there's no ounce of humanity in this bastard. None. They're not human beings. He's telling you, we put the Shah in, and how dare they decide to do a revolution against, even though he was beating and torturing people. Yeah, he was torturing. So what? So what? Because they don't give a shit. See, they lost Iran 40 years ago, and they want it back. They want them banks back. They want that oil back. They want that gas, and they want those rare earth metals that were found in Iran. Not to go to the people, to go to them and impoverish the country some more. See, Africa's the scam they want to do around the world. Africa's wealthy, people poor. You're dealing with a conundrum. How's that possible? How's Africa wealthy and everybody's fucking running around there impoverished? Okay? That's the system they want globally. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so let me continue this video here. Share what just a bit before we get to the comment. Wind up. Let's see.
That nuclear program is that he seeks peace and negotiation.
He seeks peace that they bomb somebody.
Of peace and negotiation.
If I punch Joby in the mouth, I want peace with her. Joby, I want peace with you. I bust you in your mouth. I want you to hit me back, but I want peace with you.
Program, that nuclear capability will not exist.
I mean, the fact is we have a strong president, a decisive president, and the most lethal military in the world. And there's a huge difference between what's going on in Iran right now and what happened in Iraq over 20 years ago.
We'll defend our people, obviously. We'll defend our people. Well, they'll attack our bases. And
how you defending your people? You attacking somebody. Remember, he's an Israeli stooge. This Mark Rubio moron. This is a moron. And sad that everybody knows that our leadership is so stupid, so backward, because they've been groomed by, you go back and learn where they've been groomed. They've been groomed by Is Not Real for years before they even got there. These are all fucking morons. We're being ruled by the most idiotic, moronic people in history. That's why things don't ever work. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They all stupid. It's not an accident. Mark Rubio shouldn't even be a shoe salesman. This is an idiot. I mean, literally. This is literally a corrupt, immoral, I mean immoral in the worst way, immoral moron. That's what you're looking at. And he's probably got tapes on this dude with his penis down some boy's throat. Remember all the Epstein stuff, that was the Mossad. Okay? All these morons have all been compromised also by Mossad and Epstein. Epstein's not dead. If you don't know, as Joby showed you the videos, you know Epstein's not dead. We know all these bastards have been compromised with their penis in a little boy's butt, or the mouth, or a little girl's butt or mouth. That's how we've been ruled by sycophantic pedophiles, and that's a fact. And you know, even when you put your mind around it, most Americans can't fathom this kind of evil. You know, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're talking. All this has been panned out as a fact. That's what Epstein was about. Compromising these no good, duplicitous bastards. They're all kind of tapes. And remember, Iran said they got a lot of these tapes. They hacked into the security footage, some of the security thing of the Mossad a few nights ago during the bombing, and got everybody's name who's got a penis in somebody's mouth, or who's been taking a penis in the mouth. Remember? I'm going to have Joby look before we leave. Joby look that up. Iran's got all these secret things by the Mossad, all these tapes, how they got everybody compromised. Like if I don't bitch, everybody compromised because on one of them, it's on that guy she always showing bitch shoot. He's talking about too. Everybody's been compromised. They got all the information, all these elected officials all over the planet. England, France, Germany, America, who's got some penis in somebody's mouth, or penis in their ass, or penis in their earlobe, whatever. Wherever you got the penis, the Mossad J's got it. Okay? And it's some filthy, and it's some, you know, it's some filthy behavior, dog. It's some, you know, it's some crazy work. Some filthy work. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, let me show it a little bit, then see if I can find it. I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy you always. Yeah,
we're prepared to do that, but we'll do more than just defend. We'll impose costs on Iran if they attack American personnel.
They've been putting this video. They've been putting this videos on TikTok
that they try to hide behind, and that includes the Houthis.
Yeah.
You know, he talks like this. It's been a hard thing that we've been finding out, and and now we're here to discover what's happening now.
Yeah.
That guy.
I Another guy, let me check. I found him. The Epstein blacklist. Actually, just a new one. Just here. Let me share it very quickly. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Iran finds the blacklist, and it's crazy. It's crazy work, dog.
He was dead. Showed us
There
a
you go.
cell, a bed
Yep.
sheet.
There you
a
go.
broken
There you go.
microphone. But what followed wasn't justice. It was the biggest cover-up since 9/11. But now, stunning revelations out of Israel have blown the lid off the official story. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself because Jeffrey Epstein never died. Insiders say Epstein, always an intelligence asset, wasn't just a predator, he was a weapon, a blackmailer, a handler, a tool of the CIA and Mossad. And when exposure threatened the operation, they didn't kill him. They extracted him. Body swap, staged death. Destination, Israel. Now he's back in business, running blackmail ops for Israeli intelligence on behalf of the
Back in
globalists.
business.
And here's where it gets dark. Top
Wow.
US intelligence officials.
Pause. How did he get out of jail? How did he get out of prison? Supposedly he hung himself in prison. But you mean they got control of our prison? Yeah, they control the whole country, morons. How does he get this man out of prison who was sentenced to life imprisonment? But he's supposed to commit suicide because they run this country, dummies. So he's back in business again, running honeypots and showing people putting their penis in other people's mouths in Ukraine. Go ahead, Joby.
This are suddenly going quiet, or worse, changing their tune. Straight-faced denials that defy reason, evasive answers, and a sudden synchronized silence. They're not covering up a suicide, they're covering for a ghost. Because if Epstein was working for them, or had dirt on them, what does that really say about who they really serve? If the most powerful people are being watched, what chance do you have? The globalist digital prison isn't on the horizon, it's already here. Still think Israel wouldn't use someone like Epstein to spy on the powerful? Then you don't understand how real intelligence operations work when they're after total control. Just weeks ago, then NSA advisor Mike Waltz was caught using Telemessage, an Israeli modified clone of the messaging app Signal, during a high-level White House meeting. You laughed when your grandpa clicked on spam links. Meanwhile, a senior NSA official just handed Israeli intelligence a front row seat to the White House secrets. Not only was Waltz texting Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he was doing it on an app.
Remember Marco Rubio? That's who Joby just showed. Marco Rubio in that last video. That moron. That was Marco Rubio ass right there. Told you, he's complicit with Israel because he's already compromised. They got pictures of him, either some penis in his butt, his penis in somebody's little kid's mouth, or eating a baby and drinking the blood. This is real. He's eating some baby parts, drinking the blood, all other kind of wicked shit. Go ahead, Joe.
Encrypted chats, making it a surveillance goldmine. Then came the breach. A hacker exploiting Telemessage exposed data from over 60 US government users, including the Secret Service and FEMA. And here's the kicker. This app isn't even approved for secure federal use. So ask yourself, how did an Israeli surveillance tool find itself in the pockets of America's top officials? Coincidence?
How's that? It's always is not real again. Ain't it funny? How does is not real get all the answers and all these things into government official hands where they can be spied on and compromised? Isn't it funny? How's it always is not real? Is it always them? Go ahead, Joe.
Given what we now know about Jeffrey Epstein and his fellow federal asset Sean Diddy Combs, surveillance is never just security, it's control. Every inch of their homes was wired. Every square foot of Little St. James was under constant watch. Not just for protection, but for leverage.
Jeffrey Epstein found me almost immediately. He knew exactly where I was, the location. And I knew then that I was being filmed. I was being watched 24/7. There were cameras all over the island.
Because when you're running blackmail ops for the alphabet agencies, the cameras aren't optional. They're the point. The globalists aren't hiding their agenda. They've told us exactly what's coming. Their control grid is built on invasive technology. Klaus Schwab spent years predicting a looming cyber pandemic. a manufactured crisis to crash the power grid to justify a system-wide reset.
Pay insufficient attention to the
Shit,
frightening scenario
right there, the
for
power
comprehensive
grid.
cyber attack.
Cyber
Pay
attack.
your complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society.
And remember, they're using Trump right now to set up this thing. All you MAGA morons, Trump is the one setting it up now because they knew you couldn't do with Harris. So they go back and forth. They knew you guys wouldn't accept with Harris. So they have Trump. You guys, they made him into your Jesus figure with the fake ass assassinations. And now he's doing all that wicked shit to lock everybody down. Deep pop is still on the table. And to do so much wicked shit you can't fathom. Go ahead, Joe.
Loaded. 15-minute cities will track your every move with China-style surveillance. Nanotech, no longer a conspiracy theory, now a conspiracy fact, coursing through the veins of every COVID-vaccinated person. And
Yeah, you got. Have you got the BACCINE, Goofy? You got all kind of technical shit up in before you DIE, before you get before you DIE. Your ass is a living cell phone, okay? And they can put any frequency in you, blow up your heart, all kind of shit you don't know of. But he told you when you screamed at me 5 years ago, told you, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm going to lose my job, then you better lose it, moron. Get another job. Go ahead, Joe.
It's all together, paving the way for social credit scores and mandatory vaccinations. This isn't a drill. It's the blueprint for total control. Government agencies, NSA, CIA, Mossad, you name it, are tapping your every move online, feeding their globalist surveillance machine. Your VPN isn't saving you. Your VPN is spying on you. They flash no logs like it's a promise. But what they're really saying is, trust us. Trust foreign outfits in Israel, Panama, Romania, Switzerland. Trust them not to sell your data when the globalists tighten their grip. We know their plans. They told us. They're building a digital prison planet, digital IDs, 50-minute cities, total internet control. The globalist takeover needs one thing. Every click, every search, every move you make online in their hands. You think you're safe? Mossad has just been busted spying on White House officials. Nobody's safe. I don't know about you, but it boils my blood knowing they're changing the internet to their globalist agenda. That's why I've partnered with VP.net, the world's either Intel net still use surveillance matrix. Strike back against the digital overlords by visiting vp.net/tp.net or not for Mossad and the CIA. This is no longer speculation. He met over a dozen times with CIA Director William Burns and Obama's top lawyer, Catherine Ruemmler.
Epstein was meeting with the kind of people you'd think would steer clear of a convicted pedophile. Jeffrey Epstein was meeting with one of Barack Obama's top lawyers, Catherine Ruemmler. She met with Epstein dozens of times.
And so did Trump.
Epstein even tried to set up
Trump partied with Epstein. So many people, he partied with him. And we know that Trump had got young girls from Epstein. No matter how much they tried to lie, the Jays tried to lie, the Mossad tried to hide it. We know that Trump partied all the time with Epstein. After he threw him out of his mansion and all that nonsense. And all documents about how Epstein would bring him young girls. Go ahead, Joe.
Obama's lawyer to work for Bill Gates. How is Jeffrey Epstein a fixer between Obama's lawyer and Bill Gates?
He had dirt on presidents, prime ministers, billionaires, and Hollywood leaders. And he was
exactly, because Bill Gates is a pedophile. So is Obama.
That's not blackmail for personal gain. That is an intelligence operation. For those still in doubt, explain why he was meeting regularly with a CIA director.
Epstein was also meeting with Joe Biden's CIA director. He wasn't CIA director at the time. He was Barack Obama's deputy secretary of state. William Burns was working for John Kerry at the State Department and meeting with Jeffrey Epstein. Known pedophile. And then Burns becomes CIA director. Today's director of the CIA went to Epstein's Manhattan townhouse where Epstein had sex with underage girls and, where he filmed other men having sex with underage girls. And William Burns went there and was then promoted to the director of the CIA. Now, I wonder if the future CIA director saw the portrait of Bill Clinton in a blue dress hanging in Epstein's parlor room.
Epstein was also meeting with high-level Israeli Mossad officials, as his lawyer and alleged client Alan Dershowitz recently let slip.
He's Mossad.
Were able to preserve a plea deal for Jeffrey Epstein in 2008 when you were his lawyer. Alex Acosta made a pretty stunning claim as to why that plea deal went forward and why he wasn't able to get a heavier prosecution against Jeffrey Epstein.
Because he's Mossad and CIA,
I was told
that's
that
why.
Epstein belonged to Intel.
Right.
And to leave it alone. And this is what Acosta said before a Senate committee looking to confirm him in the first Trump term.
I heard the claim that the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agents, used him just the way they used Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Maxwell. And, you know, you never know. One thing about intelligence...
He knows he's Mossad. He's how stupid that is. One thing you don't know, he's another cat with the hat, and he's been clicked in. He knows the motherfucker was Mossad. He knows he's a spy's intelligence, and he knows they've been running honeypots and all kind of sick shit, you know, with underage girls and boys and violating all kind of booty holes. He knows that. They run the world. What do you say, Joe?
You never know.
Nah, I'm laughing at Jiba's comment here.
What do you say?
Donald Trump loves golden showers. He's not talking about the shampoo.
All right. Of course not. He's talking about peeing on him. He peed on him.
I think he's making a joke at me because I used to think it was a shampoo. So.
That's right. I forgot. That's what we told you. That's right. remember how innocent and naive Joe he was? Ooh, that's some kind of shampoo? Yeah, Joe, it's a shampoo.
Oh my.
But it's certainly possible. If so, I didn't know anything about it. In fact, once when I was in Israel writing a book, he called me. He was in France. And he said, you know, I've never been to Israel. I don't know anybody in Israel. Could I come visit you for a day? And he did. He flew his plane, and I took him on a walk.
He didn't know nobody from Israel. You say lying. He didn't know nobody from Israel. Damn, Epstein. We know he's a Mossad agent. Everything leads back to Israel. It's not real. So you know this dude's a goddamn dirty lie because he's most likely an agent too. This damn, and we always got Dershowitz has been implicated in pedophile rings over and over again for the last 20 years. This dude here, evidence that he's a no good, dirty pedophile too. So we supposed to believe Epstein never been to Israel? I invited him over there, and you know, it flew over there. What? This dude is Mossad. Talking about he didn't know about Israel. He's working for the Mossad CIA. Yeah, they control all narratives, guys. This is mind control. Go ahead.
We had lunch with some prominent Israelis, judges, etc. He asked me to put together a lunch. And then about 9 o'clock at night, he got on his plane as he left us. As far as I know, that was the only time he was ever in Israel. But who knows? He could have fooled me too.
We know he could have fooled me too. We know he's
When that
Mossad.
operation got too visible, too messy, they shut it down. But not with a trial, with a body. Or at least what we were told was his body. A
Big
body
body.
that didn't look anything like him under closer inspection, but did look exactly like Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham, who died weeks earlier. The US government, led by Attorney General Bill Barr, rushed to label Epstein's death as suicide. A Zionist Jew, as some call him, Barr has a deeply telling family tie. His father, Donald Barr, hired the young Jeffrey Epstein as a math teacher at Dalton School back in the 70s.
They're all connected. They're all connected. Dude, this dude's a Mossad. He's the Attorney General of America, but he's a goddamn cat. And he had Epstein as a teacher back in the day, teaching some. They're all connected. The cats run. That's why all the top government officials are all ran by cats in America. All of them. Didn't matter if you was in Bush, Obama, Biden, Trump. All the top officials are cats. How's that possible? If they don't run the country. Go ahead, Joe.
Unqualified for the job with no college degree. Oh, and Donald Barr? He worked for the OSS, the precursor to the CIA. Coincidence? No such thing.
Jeffrey Epstein used to teach math at the Dalton School in New York.
The guy who hired Epstein, even though Epstein dropped out of college and was only 21 years old at the time, was Donald Barr, the father of Attorney General William Barr. Epstein would be let go and Donald Barr would resign as headmaster in 1974. In 1973, though, he wrote a book called Space Relations. Get this. Space Relations is a science fiction novel about a planet ruled by oligarchs who perform child sex slavery. Doesn't that sound familiar? Fast forward 46 years into the future. Jeffrey Epstein
No fake book. He's supposed to make a fake book about child sex slavery on a spaceship on another planet, right? Because that's what they've been doing. Is what they be doing, raping all them children on the back of that plane in Africa. They put dicks in their mouths. Think it's going on. They've been doing this. So they always psychopaths always want a dialogue about the things they do. So they say, hey, put in this, make a science fiction book. Ain't nobody gonna believe it. This is all make believe. Whose mind is gonna make a book about having kids in space getting fucked? What? Whose mind is thinking of that? I'm gonna make a science fiction book. I'm saying, you know what? I think the world needs people in space on another planet fucking babies and making them slaves. Yeah. What? That's them telling on themselves of using plausible deniability, calling it science fiction, when we know it's science fact. What they do, what they've been doing. These wicked motherfuckers. Go ahead, Joe.
Custody, and Bill Barr is the Attorney General of the Department of Justice. Epstein commits suicide under Barr's watch, and Barr removes the U.S. Attorney on Epstein's case. Hey, Bill, what are you hiding?
Was Bill Barr the guy greenlighting a cover-up, shielding a blackmail op that got too hot? Let's face facts. The autopsy didn't match. The bone fractures pointed to homicide by strangulation, something no forensic pathologist sees in suicide cases. The cameras failed. His cellmate was pulled. The noose had no tears. The 9/11 calls were never released. They staged resuscitation hours after he was already dead. And the guards? Caught red-handed, fudging logs, blowing off rounds, snoring through their shifts. They got slapped with charges, sure, but jail time, not a day.
The two Bureau of Prisons workers tasked with guarding Jeffrey Epstein the night that he killed himself in a New York jail have admitted that they falsified records, but they will skirt any time behind bars under a deal with prosecutors, federal prosecutors. That's according to authorities. That's just coming out.
A sweet little payoff for playing their parts? Or a quiet nudge from someone upstairs? You tell me. This stinks either way. Barr didn't stop there. He appointed Michael Horowitz, another Zionist Jew, as Inspector General to oversee the Epstein case. Horowitz's report,
Of course,
classic cover-up. It backs the official narrative, the suicide story, cameras malfunctioning, and all.
All the Zionists.
Mark Epstein, his own brother, said Jeff had no reason to kill himself. He had a bail hearing coming up, and he was optimistic. His lawyer, Dershowitz, agreed.
Then, of course, there's the issue: did he kill himself or didn't he? I've always had my doubts about that.
All the cameras went out when he supposedly hung himself.
Lawyers at this time, who might very well have gotten him out on bail. The shocking thing is that Epstein never came back. He was living in Paris. He had a beautiful home in Paris. I was never to it, but I've seen pictures of it. And he could have stayed in Paris. He could have become a fugitive.
But they never tell you where did he make his money. He's a college dropout. He's a college dropout, never have a job, but now he's a billionaire. Come on. Now he's a billionaire. He's a college dropout, never had a job, but he's a billionaire. See how fake this is? Go ahead, Joe.
And he had leverage, incriminating info on presidents, CEOs, royalty, and more. So what really happened? Here's what. An elite-run intelligence operation was exposed. And they did what they always do. They cleaned it up. And now Israeli investigators have a bombshell. Epstein is still alive and pulling levers in US politics from Tel Aviv. Because Epstein wasn't the end of something, he was the tip of a system that uses blackmail and compromise to control governments, corporations, and media. We have the details coming up. But first, ask yourself, if they're surveilling and controlling those at the top to protect their power, What do you think they're doing to you? The same intelligence agencies behind Epstein are building a digital surveillance grid around every single one of us. They're watching our messages, tracking our movements, profiling our thoughts. And if you think you're exempt, you're already compromised. So don't wait. Opt out of their system. Go to vp.net.
Yeah, so yeah, don't go to that site. I don't know if it's safe either, but be safe. That's what I'll tell you.
Be safe. Watch out what. Be safe. Watch out what butt cheeks are you dealing with.
Exactly. But anyway, as we literally wind up, I see the last comments. I see earlier just said I had it was old ancient cemetery under the Twin Towers foundation with some old granted vaults. Excuse me, I don't know. Can't remember what we're talking about on that. But I also see Ricky said, I saw videos online this weekend about Marine officers said about 70% of women is effed up. And then I also see, trying to catch up where, that I read. I also see Jabba says that they'll do like Kyrie Irving and make you complete a 10-point retribution plan to play basketball. And then I also see says no UN resolution against the US will fail because they will revolt and it goes nowhere. One veto by a permanent derail. By a permanent derail, it is. Man, I've realized I really need glasses because my eyes have really been reacting super crazy lately. I think I'm gonna finally have to go for a checkup. My eyes have not been okay.
How about
past
that?
1
How
week.
about that?
Yeah, my eyes have been
You get some nice sexy glasses, Joe. You wear sunshades all the time. You get some nice glasses that fit your face.
Yeah, maybe just for the screen and maybe because I've been getting that allergic reaction of cold, so my eyes get teary. That's why even I had to put a cape today because of coming with a motorbike to avoid the cold and all that. And it's cold, so I can't also wear glasses when it's cold. So it's crazy. I can't wear sunglasses when it's cold. I look crazy. But I also see Jiba says Putin say these people are not leaving Iran, and I also see says on an insurgent is between a rebel and freedom fighter on the terrorist scale. It says Mohammed helper Bilal. I heard Islam preaches he was shut out by Allah. That's why he's black. What are you talking about? Jason says the brother is just 37 years old. I'm 8 years older than him, but the 7 making power moves in Africa is amazing. That is Ibrahim Traore.
It is.
I also see says the age of Aquarius is not playing with nothing or anyone. Joby Trumps likes golden showers. That is Jiba Jaba. Sisi Jaroke Karibu Son of doing amazing. He says, make films. They all tell their actions and fantasies. Black folks disregard what the caves
do.
tell them.
Exactly what the caves tell. They tell them in their books. They tell them in their movies. They're telling you what they do, but you like, that's just a movie. That's a book. Who is writing books? Who is making a book, right? about having child sex slaves in space? What? Get out of here.
I also see he says even with all of the AI and robots movies, shows and books, Black folks just letting all this non-African usher in a matrix style reality. It's true, I agree with you. You used to say transhumanism is their ultimate goal. You used to say
That's the ultimate game. Yeah, to merge man and machine because they're unnatural, they're not organic. So they need to merge. They're trying to stop us from ascending to the next dimension. As African people, I don't care what you call yourself, African, any whatever. Melanated people, we are connected true to source. So we get upgraded with the changing of the sun, changing of our time. So we're being upgraded, like I showed Joby when we seen the guy was doing telekinesis, moving stuff with our minds. We're being upgraded now. And so they're trying to stop that. Everybody's trying to merge mind and machine. They can't do it. They got to use technology. We are technology. See, that's why they had you be scared and so evil of learning who you are as an African. Be scared to be African is evil and all sorts of wacky shit. If it's evil, Creator wouldn't have gave it to you. That's natural. You're supposed to activate these things that come online because as you learn how to manipulate the magnetic field, because they're gonna put all these robots and dog robots after you. As an African, as a black person, you can manipulate the magnetic field and shut down a robot once you learn how to do it through just your actions of mentalism and how to manipulate the field. Same way you use telekinesis, you can manipulate the magnetic field between whatever radio frequencies that the robot dog or robot is getting back from its regular place and stop it cold. But you had to go back to being African. You had to go back to learning all these things that they tell you were evil, witchcraft, and all kind of wacky shit. But you're going to have to learn it because they're taking us to transgender, transhumanism reality. That's what they're setting up through Trump in the world. And they need all these countries like Iran to be on board. They're trying to wrap up all the countries. They figure they got all. They messed up because now Africa's breaking free with those 3 countries. They got to go back in. They gonna come for them once they wrap up Iran. They got to get them. Everybody's got to be involved for it to work. They need complete control of the planet. I can have some Negroes over there living good. But hey, why they ain't got to have a chip in their head and be a robot? Right? So transhumanism is real. Get back to studying ancient Africa. I'm gonna start doing some shows again on the weekend about how to manipulate magnetic fields. What does it mean? How to do it? How we're supposed to be eating and carrying ourselves? Because we got to raise our vibration. Your vibration has to be a certain frequency. Can't listen to that bullshit Joby and them. Let's do a camera. But I turn off all that goofy music. Your music gonna have to be right. Your vibration.
No one was playing. It was
That's
just playing itself.
Well, whatever. I should turn it off. That shit was garbage. Everything affects your frequency. You don't know that? Everything now affects your frequency. So
no one was even listening to it. You did.
Well, it was playing. It was playing. You can listen to that garbage. It was playing. It don't make a difference. Your subconscious was hearing it, Joe. It don't make a difference whether you was purposely listening to it. Your subconscious was hearing that talking about lollipop and bitch, oh lollipop, whatever, and tap out.
I just played whatever Kamlesh requested for his birthday.
Oh, you didn't hear it. Tap out, Joby, tap out.
No, that's not what he requested.
Tap out, Joby, tap out. Tap out, Joby, tap out.
Family, we're gonna come to the end of
much love, guys.
Don't pay attention to Keith, don't pay attention to him. But anyway, have yourself a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cherokee ads are potentially waiting for those type of shows. Will there be backups of these shows on the network? They're always on if you have our application, we have.
They're always on the network, guys. All you gotta do is download the app. I upload all the shows every week. So just go to Black Eye Pie Network at Google Play Store and download the app. So when I'm home every weekend, I always put the new shows up there. Always. Every week I change out the old shows and put the new ones up there. So
ensure you just have the application. Black Eye Pie Network is the name on the Google Play Store. Once you have that, we also have other amazing platforms. If you can't find the show on YouTube, or if Keith is not home, probably maybe yet, you can find the shows during the weekdays on Rumble and BitChute. Through our app, you'll find
that's on the app too. If you got the app, you go to Rumble and BitChute, is there too. So whatever, even when we put a show on private on YouTube, just go to the app. You got the Rumble link right there and the BitChute link. So, and also the Spreaker link, because Joby's been putting the shows back up on what we call Spotify, all the podcasting sites.
Yeah, so ensure you do that. So much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. It's been an
Don't
amazing
do it, because then if you don't do it, you'll be tap out, tap out, tap out, tap out, tap out,
amazing
tap out.
conversation. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, right here. Tomorrow I'll be coming in a little bit early because Kamle shall not be in. He shall be on the ground giving us news and updates on what is happening with tomorrow's demonstration in the 254. It is a nationwide demonstration, so we're gonna be here waiting and of course reporting what is happening for us in the studio. But Kamle shall be on the ground. So catch up tomorrow, same time, same place on the Africa Today show. But we also have
Much love, family. Great show. Much love. Hey, everybody hit that like button, guys. You guys are in there. Hit the like button. If you ain't gonna, oh, Shadi Mill, thanks for the $10, brother. We seen you with the donation. If you guys not gonna donate,
he joined the WhatsApp chat. So anyone who has an excuse of not being in our WhatsApp chat group right now,
I gave you guys the link inside the app. So
no more
if you got the WhatsApp chat link is inside the damn app, inside the live chat room. So if you're not gonna donate, at least goddamn do thumbs up. That's free shit.
Yeah, please. I'll subscribe or something. But anyway, much love. Have yourselves a beautiful day. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.
Much love.